Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today's video is about the chapter from NCERT class 12, Flamingo, which is Deep Water by William Douglas. It's a very important and interesting chapter. By the end of this video, you will be able to describe the main sequence of the story. You will also be able to give a gist of the story or be able to summarize the story in your own words. So let's begin with the video. So first, I'm going to give you an introduction to the story. In this story, Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it with strong willpower, courage, hard work, and firm determination. So, what does this mean? It means that the basic theme of this chapter is about fear, various kinds of fear, especially the fear which was in the mind of the author, which was the fear of water, and how he overcame it with strong willpower, courage, hard work, and firm determination. So, having a strong willpower, having courage, doing hard work in order to overcome your fear, as well as having firm determination that you will stick to it, that you will continue to work for your progress. These are the various key points which are needed, which are very essential to overcome any kind of fear. So how the author is able to achieve it, that we will be able to read in this chapter. Once he took courage, the fear vanished, which means that the moment the author showed courage, the moment he showed bravery, his fear could not stand in front of him. That shows that most of our fears are baseless. This is also a very important theme of this chapter, that the author feels that the fears that are there in our mind, they are created by us only. They are useless. Until and unless we are not trying hard in order to overcome something, that fear will be there in our mind. And the moment we step up for ourselves and the moment we decide that we are not going to give up, the fear will vanish. That shows that the fear is pointless, it is baseless. It is no it doesn't exist without our own brains. Fear creates dangers where there is none. This is also another very important theme of this chapter, that even when there is no danger, fear will create danger. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth, where there is a will, there is a way. So, this is a very important statement. Where there is a will means that whenever you want to try to do something, there is a way, which means that you will do it. The whole universe will conspire in order for you to achieve it because you try. All you have to do is try hard. Now let us discuss a few characters and places of the story. So the first very important character is William Douglas himself. So this is the main character of the story. He is narrating the story from his own viewpoint. So this is an autobiographical account. A very important place which is mentioned in the story is YMCA Pool. This is a swimming pool run by Young Men's Christian Association. So YMCA full form is Young Men's Christian Association. This swimming pool is near Yakima River. Now what is Yakima? Yakima is a US city located about 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier in Washington. So this is a river which flows in that city of Washington, which is why it is named as Yakima River. YMCA pool is situated near Yakima River, and this is the place where the author would go to take his swimming lessons in order to learn swimming so that he is able to overcome his fear of water. Now let us begin with the story. So I am going to provide you a short summary of the story in these various small points. So the first point says, William O. Douglas had a desire to learn swimming since childhood. At the age of 3 or 4, he was knocked down and buried by a wave at a beach in California. He developed a great aversion to water. At the age of 10 or 11, he decided to learn to swim with water wings at the YMCA pool since it was safe at the shallow end. So, till here, what the story is saying, that the author had a willingness to learn swimming. So, at the age of 3 or 4, he went with his father at the beach in California, but there a misadventure happened with him. What happened, that he was standing holding his father's hand when a huge wave came and knocked him over. Knocked him over means made him fall down on the ground, and the wave swept over him means went over his body. Because of that, he had a great fear towards water since that very age. When he became 10 or 11-year-old, he decided that let me learn to swim so that I will be able to overcome my phobia of water. Then that misadventure happened with him. So what is that misadventure? While sitting alone and waiting for others to come at the YMCA pool, a big boy came and threw Douglas into deep end of the pool. So one day he was sitting at the end of the pool. He was waiting for the others to come so that they could begin training. He had not even learned swimming by now. It was only his second or third class. He had practiced very little, which was only paddling with water wings. He had not practiced beyond that, which means that he did not know how to swim. So he was scared and he was sitting on the side. When a big bruiser boy, which means a boy with a big built up, he came and he threw Douglas into the deep end of the pool. As you can imagine, a child who doesn't know how to swim, if he is thrown into the pool, naturally he is going to drown. And this is what happened. Douglas swallowed water and went straight down to the bottom of the pool. Unfortunately for him, he landed in the same sitting posture in which he was sitting by the end of the pool. So he swallowed water, which was very, very unfortunate, and he went straight down. But his mind was still working. While going down, he planned to make a big jump upward but came up slowly. So he decided that as my feet will touch the bottom of the pool, I will make a big jump upwards and I will come like a cork to the surface, and then I will float in the water and reach the edge of the pool, and that's how I will save myself. That was his planning. But when he made the big jump upwards, he came up very, very slowly. He tried to shout but could not. His voice was choking inside water and there was absolutely no sound. As he went down the pool the second time, so this time he came upwards, only his eyes and his nose came out. His mouth was not able to come out, and then he again started going down a second time. He tried to jump upwards, but it was a waste of energy. So he tried second time also to jump, but again this time also he was not able to jump. Terror held him deeper and deeper. This time a stark terror came upon him, terror of death. During the third trial, he sucked water instead of air. This time he tried to suck for air. His body, his impulses were screaming at him to get some oxygen inside, but it was impossible. So even though he was trying to suck air, all he could gulp down was water. So naturally, even when his third attempt to jump up failed, this time he decided that it was now time to give up. Because his body was exhausted without oxygen, his mind was blanking out, which means that it was all dark around him. Light was going out. Light was going out means that now it was getting darker in his mind and there was no more panic. So, this is very important that when he was scared of death, he was full of panic. His entire body was frozen because he did not want to die. But now, when he accepted his approaching death, there was no more panic. So he ceased all efforts. Ceased means stopped. He stopped putting all the efforts and he became unconscious. He crossed to oblivion. Oblivion means the threshold, the line between life and death. And he crossed that line, which means that he was almost dead. When revived, he found himself vomiting beside the pool. So somebody must have seen him drowning and they must have come for help, which means that when he was revived, means when he was brought back to health, he found himself vomiting beside the pool. So his consciousness came back and he was vomiting right next to the pool. He was in grip of fear of water and it deprived him of the joys of canoeing, boating, swimming and fishing. So throughout his lifetime he had a fear of water and that fear of water deprived him of doing all these activities, all these adventures which are related to water. He tried to stay away from water as much as possible. Then he decided that I should hire an instructor to learn swimming. So now he wanted to act upon his fear and do something about it. This is when he started acting upon his fear. The instructor taught him swimming piece by piece. He went to different lakes to swim and found tiny vestiges of fear still gripped him. When instructor started teaching him, he started going to different pools, different lakes to swim, and every time little bit of fear used to come back. He challenged the fear and swam. Swimming up and down the warm lake, he finally overcame his fear of water. He realized that in death there is peace and there is terror only in the fear of death. So this is the most important line of this chapter, and many a times question comes on the usage of this line, that in death there is peace and there is terror only in the fear of death, which means that death itself is not full of terror. Only if you fear death, then you have terror. But death in itself is very peaceful. It has absolutely no terror. Once that he had experienced almost a near death experience, now he could say this. And to end with the video, we have the famous words of American President Roosevelt. He recollects the words of one of the presidents of America, Roosevelt. So Franklin D. Roosevelt had said that all we have to fear is fear itself. That if you want to be scared of someone, then be scared of fear. Because this is the only thing which stops you from enjoying anything. As William had experienced death and the fear of death, his desire to live grew immensely. He felt released from fear and was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountains fearlessly, which means that now that his fear was overcome, finally he was able to achieve anything that he wanted to. He was no longer scared of water and he no longer deprived himself of any adventure related to water. So he was a free spirit again. And that's how this story ends on a very positive note and teaches us many important lessons. Hope this video was of use to you, and hope to see you in the next video for the discussion of yet another chapter from NCERT. Thank you so much for watching.